Hey guys, what's up? Hope everybody's having a good one. I know it's been a minute since I've done a show. Actually, guys, there hasn't really been much going on. That's kind of why. Just letting you know. Been kind of busy doing my own thing, you know. Life kind of gets in the way sometimes. But we're here now. Hey, good to see you from Aussie. Love my Australian people. Good to see you from down under. Hey, Taylor, what's up? Penny, Life, what's going on? Deb, Randy, Crazy Granny, what's happening? Cindy, Lynn, Randy, again, there you are. Hey, Kinley, how you doing? Yeah, I'm sorry ain't been no music at the beginning of my streams either. You know, that is actually kind of hard to do sometimes. You know, it takes some time. Hey, Bubba News, it does take some time to do that. When I'm recording that all and I have to put it all together, it does take a few minutes. Not that I don't want to continue to do that, because I will eventually. But right now, I don't have the time, so that's why I kind of showed the old one. Hey, what's up, Schumann Show? So hopefully everybody's in here. Hopefully people will start filtering in here. I know it's a weird time, especially since I haven't did a live stream in a minute. I don't see any mods in there right now, which is okay. It's all right. I get it. I understand. It's midnight. Hey, what's up, Tommy? My brother Tommy. Y'all need to go over and check him out on the lifeboat. I'm over there too. Go check him out. So yeah, guys. I'm going to go ahead and give you an update on what's going on with the space weather, and we may talk about some research stuff that I've was doing, and I really have been putting off for a long time. Of even bringing it out. But it is what it is. Hey, Alan, what's happening? But I do want to show you guys a few things here with what's going on right now. Obviously, you guys see that right there. That is an M-class flare. And it was significant. My guess is this thing would have been a lot stronger had it been facing Earth. That thing was not facing Earth, and I'll show you. Matter of fact, I'll just do that now. Why wait, right? That's what I usually do. I don't mean to, but it came from over here. So let me play this, and you'll see it. It's not hard to see. Right about there. See that? That's a significant eruption. Okay, my guess is that was probably more than an M-class flare. We only seen the M-class flare of it. Okay? That's what you're seeing there. So with that being off the side, this happened a while back too. This happens quite often, actually. I can't say that would have been any kind of an X flare or anything like that. Obviously, we can't make those claims. But, yeah. Hey, Kevin. Hey, yeah, cool. Good to see you, Fi. Yeah, Kevin. Yeah, Marth's awesome, guys. You guys know I talk about Marth all the time. You know, I don't talk about him as much as I should, probably. You know, sometimes I forget to do that because he's such a much bigger channel than me. And, you know, sometimes I think if I say stuff like that, it is, everybody already knows who he is. So what I'm trying to say is, I don't need to do that. I need to be saying his name too. It's not fair to him or anybody else that's helping other channels for us to forget to, you know, point people his direction. So, yeah. So, yeah, guys, go check out Marfugal News, Marfugal TV. If you haven't, get over there. Great people. Hey, Julie, what's up? And, yeah, this particular update's going to be a little bit more, you know, laid back a little bit. So, I don't intend this thing to be like, you know, all uppity and all that kind of thing. Again, guys, I don't even know how many people are here. Let's check. Yeah, see, I only got 100 people here right now, which is fine. It doesn't make my broadcast any different. It's just, you know, like I said, it's a weird time, and I haven't been on at for 6 days. So, but that is a weird, I don't want to call it weird. We dodged a bullet there, actually. Okay, just so you know. Because if that would have been here, that is that same sunspot too, guys. So, and I'm not sure if you guys noticed this up here either. I'm going to zoom into that in a second on a different angstrom. And we'll take a look at that. Matter of fact, we'll just do that right now. It's a solar tornado And it's, remember guys, a tornado is on the sun is not wind. It's actually a magnetic connection line with plasma traveling on that magnetic connection line. The reason why it looks like it's swirling is because that's the shape of the line. And if you notice, it connects back to the sun here on the end. And then all that plasma goes right back to the surface of the sun. So that's what you're seeing there. You get a pretty tall solar tornado, or a solar vortex is what they call them. And then at the end of that, you actually get some solar rain, which is plasma. Again, those are charged particles, guys. So they're going to follow polarity, negative and positive. They don't move outside of that. That's just what they do. So, let me go ahead and, you didn't miss much, AB. We had a pretty big flare, but it wasn't aimed at us. So I'll say it right up. I'm just showing everybody what it is at the beginning here. I'm going to try to do that. I've been trying to do that more and more. But you see how that kind of, you can definitely see why we call it a solar vortex, right? I mean, it looks like a tornado. It really does. And you see how it goes from the bottom up. And we'll look at it again in some more angstroms here. But here's that thing is actually it's crested the limb. In other words, the sun is actually in front of that blast. And the only reason why we got the x-rays from it is because when it did blast, it stood up off the surface. So some of the x-rays go out in all directions. They're not like pinpointed like plasma is. It's basically light. Hey Trash, what's up? Good to see you. So, that is a significant blast. Now, again, there's no danger to us with this one, other than it was still big enough, even off the side, to give us radio blackout conditions. See, R1. And again, that would have only happened at the on the day side of the planet, right? Now, something else, even though we didn't get into radiation storm, we got blasted with an uptick in protons too. Right here, you see this? So if that got the S1, that would have been a low-level radiation storm, and it showed up down here in the absorption chart too. Model, see? Remember last week I was showing you this when it was red and everything. This is the flare part. Okay. Now it looks like this tool might be having some issues because this thing isn't moving. So I don't know what's going on with this. I wouldn't trust that right there. Okay. After looking at this again just now, this is not moving. This should be going from right to left. The flare part of it. There it goes. It's moving now. But it looked like it stalled there. So there's some images there that are probably missing. Hey, Axe, what's up? Hey, Daniel, what's up? So, yeah. I mean, and then, again, guys. Yeah, we're going to check it out in a second, Jacob. Yep, we sure are. We've got that. Matter of fact, right here. And it was a big blast, guys. You're definitely going to see it. See that? That right there, if that was in front of us, even if it was going off the backside, that would have looked like a halo. That's a full halo from the left side view. Okay? We don't get a direct left side view anymore. We used to with Stereo A. Remember, Stereo A is slowly creeping towards our planet in orbit. I believe it's like a month and a half behind us now, close to it. It used to be a lot longer behind us. And it gave us more of a side view and a back side view, which we're not getting anymore because of that. Now, there's other satellites out there, okay? We'll check it. This is Stereo A's version of it. Now, this is actually an anomaly on this camera that I've never seen before. Now, I'm not saying that it's something crazy. I'm just saying I've never seen this thing do this. I've seen it do it in a certain way before, but not in just... We've all seen it do crazy stuff, but that happened right as this flare erupted, but it was on the other side. So I don't think it really had much to do with what happened here with the satellite, is what I'm trying to say. That's the first image. Okay? Obviously, that's a corrupted image. We know that. I mean, it just is. You can tell. Nothing really there to try to pick out. That's that exact shape that I've shown you guys before, that you can actually cut that out and take it to some of the internal components of the camera, and it matches 100%. Okay, so what you're seeing there is more so a reflection of what's inside the camera with a lot of that. Okay, now you're going to see, and I believe this is Mercury. I don't want to claim that, though, because I didn't go look. Maybe I should have. I didn't, so I'm not going to say what planet that is, but that most certainly is a planet. It actually showed up on LASCO C2 also, which is the one from our view. Now remember, this is our side view, right? Now, even though this is going to the right from the side view, remember, it's not so much a 90 degree anymore. It's more of a 45 where the satellite's at. So if the satellite's here, Earth is really kind of right here, guys. Okay? As far as angle, I'm not talking about, up and over. What I'm saying is the angle of which we're looking at this. And I'll show it to you here in just a sec. Matter of fact, let's just do it now. Let me pull this up. The NASA CME tracker already updated. Okay? Now you'll be able to see how big this was. See that? What is kind of strikingly obvious here right off the bat is that's moving extremely fast. Hey CW, hey Rose, what's going on? Mary, what's happening? But here's Earth, right? This is a top-down view of our inner solar system. Okay, that's Mercury right there. So yes, what we were seeing in that imaging from, this is stereo A, right? Remember what I said? This thing actually, because here's Earth, this thing actually used to be way over here. So it's come 45 degrees closer to Earth. And it's still moving towards us. That's what it was supposed to do all along. It's just been out there for a very long time. Hey, Miss V, what's happening? CW is in the house. But that's Mercury, okay? This one here, that green box, that's the Parker SP. That's the one that everybody, really was watching there for a while because it went out and it kissed the sun. That's what the purpose of this Parker SP probe was for. That was one of the main goals of this thing, and they continually send it in there because they're trying to get a better understanding why the corona of the sun is hotter than the surface. Okay, they're getting more understanding of it, and I've explained what I think possibly could be some of the factors because I used to work with UV. I don't throw my credentials around at all. Not that I have very many. But I do have a pretty decent knowledge base about UV because I worked with it for 20 years. So what I'm saying is I do have a knowledge and I do have an understanding of it. It doesn't make me an expert. Let me tell you that right off the bat. Not in any way, shape, or form. Anything I'm telling you guys right here is just me saying what I think is going on by my limited education in whatever. Most of it's just life. And common sense is what I try to do. And that's where I stop with it. I mean, obviously there's lots of people out there that are a lot smarter than me that would have a whole lot better scientific explanation of what's going on here, right? I can give you a very basic knowledge of what I think is going on, and I think I'm pretty much correct when I talk about the basics of this, which is why I do it like that. I do understand some of the more complex parts of this. I just don't bring it to everybody because, number one, it would take a long time. I'm talking a long time to explain just one little thing when we're talking about complex stuff, right? We're talking long mathematical formulas and all that kind of stuff. And let's face it, guys, nobody's here to go through some math. You know what I mean? Even though math is probably the most convincing evidence you will ever see for anything, it is the top, it is close to the top or the top admissible thing in a court of law. Right? I mean, that's how it works. Somebody shows you math, that is what it is. Math doesn't, math doesn't lie. It doesn't have an opinion. It is just what it is. But some of the equations and stuff I can show you guys are so long, and I'd have to explain a whole lot of different things there. And I'm not going to do that to you guys because I really think it would bore you. I really do. Heck, it bores me when I have to do it. So, anyway, there's a lot more people out there smarter than me on that whole end of things. But just, I bring this one up because it's a good way to show you where the satellites are at. But this Parker SP is pretty cool. But anyway, that did show that was Mercury right there. So what we were seeing, where's seeds at? That's Mercury. Okay? It's pretty easy to say that. It's transient just like a planet would. It's not, and it's on the far side of the sun too, so that's why it doesn't look as big as sometimes it does. Because next time we catch this thing, when it orbits back around, it'll be in the front side, so it'll be closer to Earth and it'll look bigger. Hey Rippy, what's up? Oh my goodness, dude, killing me. Hey Coco, what's happening? Redneck, what's happening? Anymore, everything has an opinion and probably even yeah, right on. That's on point. On point. On point. Hey, Bamboo, what's happening? I think I said hi to Cindy. And again, guys, this is kind of like an informal type of thing. I'm just trying to, have a little connection with you guys right now and show you what's going on. Because, there is stuff going on with the sun. Even though it's quiet, again, guys, I don't want to just come on here for no reason, right? Because I think that's boring for you guys. I don't think you guys want to just hear me spout off whatever and try to make something out of nothing. And that's, unfortunately, you get people out there that do that. And I'm not going to do that. So, yeah. So we'll look at a different angstrom. We just looked at 304. Let's check out, I'm trying to figure out another one that would be kind of cool to look at for those solar tornadoes. Maybe the 131, it might show some of that. It does. But do you see how it doesn't show as much? But it shows the flare way better. It's because this angstrom of light is able to catch the X-rays better than the 304. Watch this flare. Look at that. That didn't look nothing like, what I just showed you guys. You guys are awesome. Anyway. Anyway. So, yeah, you got that. And watch this happen. Another thing here, this is kind of long duration, too. If you check this out, see the flare stick around and how it just kept producing X-rays right there? It most definitely, and make no mistake, like I said, I just showed you guys the CME that blew off with it. The density of said CME there doesn't really look like it was all that dense, but it is moving fast. Watch how fast it gets off the screen. Okay, this updates when it happens. So Earth is here, and it takes most CMEs about 3 days to get here, between 2 to 3, sometimes 4 days. High end, we seen them take 5, right? But this thing leaves the screen in 3 days. So you're talking double the distance there. So if this thing had fired off right at Earth, that would have been a day and a half to 2 days it would have been hitting us, right? But notice how even though this was off here on the backside, how close it actually did come to even kind of trying to sideswipe us a little bit. We've seen, like with filament releases off, a filament will flick out like a whip, right? We've seen them flick off here. They're on the other side of the limb of the sun where the sun's blocking most of it, but the filament will flip off this way, and it'll actually pull the plasma around the limb and shoot it at us. I've seen it happen. It's interesting to see that. Typically when that happens, it's not a very strong hit, which is why people don't talk about it much, but it does still usually hit us. But you can see how this solar tornado up here doesn't show up as well on the 131. And, again, it's just another good example of why we look at different angstroms. That's exactly why. But yeah. This 211 will probably show it in like a dark shadow, I bet. Let's check it out. Let's zoom in here. It's really not showing. Yeah, see it? Right there? Once it got to be the background of space, you almost couldn't even see it. But look at that thing. Now, you're going to see the solar tsunami or the shock wave from that actually go over here on the surface of the sun on our side. Watch. See how that kind of rippled across the surface there? That doesn't mean it left the sun on this side. Okay? All that means is it was on the surface. And it really didn't make it that far over here. But make no mistake, guys, that was a significant eruption. And, we're watching this one pretty close because this one has friends. There's not just one thing there. There's a couple, there's a sunspot with other trailing sunspots with it, which, this is considered one sunspot, even though it's a group of them, right? So when they got a group of them here, they start playing together and they start blasting stuff. So, yeah. Yeah, the satellite jumped around there a little bit. That can be caused from a whole lot of different things. Typically, that's, solar wind or whatever hitting the satellite when it bounces a little bit like that. It's hard to pinpoint when that happens unless we know we got a solar wind stream hitting us. I can tell you this, that that flare didn't cause that satellite to do that. Not jump around like that. It would take a lot more time for that plasma to reach that satellite. Okay? Now, the X-rays most definitely would hit it. Right? But it's not like plasma. When plasma hits something, it'll move it. Right? So, yeah. Stuff's pretty instantaneous. So, hey, good to see you, Tammy. Much love back to you up there north of the border. Time to pay the piper, say ah, said ah. Yeah, that shockwave's kind of crazy. Yeah, it is a shock. Yeah, but what I'm saying is that shockwave probably didn't come from that. Now, I will say, okay, Jacob makes a good point here, that everything that is out there is connected to the sun via a magnetic connection line. They even plot them here. The dashed lines here, those are all connected to the sun, including the satellites we just looked at. So if that line was kind of disrupted a little bit, I guess theoretically, it could kind of yank it around a little bit. Yeah, that's a good point. So, but again, I can't say that's 100% what happened to it because it's out there where it's sitting. And, I can't. SDO is actually, it's only, I think it's 38,000 miles away from us. We can actually look at that, to be honest with you. Let's check this out. If you guys don't know, you can do this. I've actually done this for you guys once or twice, but this is SDO. Again, like I said before, obviously. You can go here where it's actually asking you for an angstrom. Watch what happens when I bring this drop-down box now. You can go here, and it'll take you to the orbit of the satellite and where the satellite's at. All four of these views. So let's check out the 2D one. And this is the satellite. Okay? It orbits in a figure 8 pattern. Well, it moves in a figure 8 pattern right here, but it never leaves this above this part of our planet. It's called Geosynchronistic Orbit. Okay, it's in sync with our Earth, right? So as we're rotating, so is this satellite. It's rotating with Earth. But at the same time, it's doing this figure 8 pattern. Now, there's reasons why they do that. Some of that so it can get more of a view time. I think some of it has to do with trying to keep it in orbit, too. I'm not exactly sure on that end of it. But this is what it does. And with that being said, this one is not. I used to think this one was like a million miles away from us, like Soho is, where we looked at seeds. That's stereo A. But this one here, LASCO C2, that's on the Soho Observatory. That's not really right in front of SDO. It's kind of off a little bit to the left, which I'm going right here because we're looking at the Earth. But it's about a million miles closer to the sun than what we are. They're both still, from our perspective, it's just they're not close to each other as far as distance. So, yeah. So if you guys ever wondered why SDO does what it does and why it gets what we call an eclipse season, this is why. Because it stays in front of, or stays in the same spot geosynchronistically with our Earth. So what that does is, the inherent problem of that is every so often the Earth will pass between this satellite and the sun, just because of where this satellite's placed. If it was out far enough, further away from us, they could get around that, which is what they do with Soho, right? So that's why. Now, Soho doesn't orbit with, geosynchronistically either. It's out there in that position, and it stays out there in that position, orbiting the sun at the same rate we are, just in a different orbital pattern, orbital circle. Its orbit's closer to the sun, like Mercury is, right? Mercury and Venus. So that's, if you guys wanted that explanation, I'm sorry if you didn't. There it is. I think it's good to know that. I really do, because, and let me show you what I'm talking about. Even though it's in that orbit, it keeps its eye on the sun at all times. So it's orbiting, plus it's rotating its eye, its viewpoint, towards the sun. This is what it's doing. Okay? So there's the sun, obviously. Obviously this is the satellite. And you're not seeing Earth in here, because you shouldn't. Because we're not in eclipse season. Hey Ricky, what's up? What's up, bros? So yeah, we can take a look at this other one too. I'll show you all four of them, because I think it's a good thing to know this. I really do. It gives you different viewpoints from the satellites, obviously. But this is showing you the eye of how it's actually rotating, trying to keep its eye on the sun at the same time with the orbit. So let's go look at the last one. This didn't used to be on this site right here. You used to actually have to go over to the SDO website homepage and get to it that way. I'm not sure when they added, or at least I wasn't aware of it. Well, this is probably a really good view to show you what happens. You see how this thing is turning? Here's Earth. Watch, the sun's over here. See it? And see how the satellite kind of is tucked underneath? It's still keeping its eye on the sun. And if it didn't have that figure 8 pattern, you would get a much longer eclipse season. So that's why they do that, I think. Maybe not a longer eclipse season, but during eclipse season, it would stay eclipsed longer each time it went in front of the satellite. So that's kind of how that looks, guys. Okay? And if you got on here 12 hours later, the Earth is actually going to be rotated, so will this thing. So what will be different is, where this is showing you where the sunlight is. Or its eye, anyway. So, yeah, that's what's different. So, let's go over here to the 94 angstrom. This will show us a pretty good view of this flare, too. That's just, man. You see where the x-rays are being produced? Those x-rays are almost produced out in the corona. Watch. See that? How they hang around right there? You see a CME blow off right away. You see how it does this? It whips out like this? That is a CME. That's a filament breaking off. Just getting blasted apart. Again, this is that sunspot that shot a bunch of stuff our way. Okay? Now, we've seen these sunspots last, guys, for 2 or 3 cycles around the sun. So if this thing could go on the backside, hold together, we'll watch it, because we'll be able to know if it fires off the backside too. Might not know exactly how strong it is, because we don't really have much back there to do it. But you can definitely see, if it makes it back around, we'll be watching that sucker again. But this one here is starting to get active too, right? I need to put a squirrel on my screen, just like I do with Tommy over on the lifeboat. I squirrel around sometimes. Sorry. I do that because I do want to have a connection with you guys, and that's why I'm doing this at all. It's just that simple. Hey, Payne, what's up? Hey, Tammy. You think so, Tammy? You didn't change your clock last year? I'm not laughing at you. I just thought that was kind of a chuckle statement there. That's yeah. But what happened? Don't know if valid here, but whatever happened to that daylight savings time they were supposed to continue on from last year? Well, guys, listen. Let me address that just for a second. Because she's talking about something here that really does apply. Now we know that they calculate how fast the Earth is rotating, right? And it slows down, it speeds up. But when we're talking about slowing down and speeding up with the Earth like that, we're talking milliseconds a year. Okay, we're not talking about minutes, hours. We're not talking in terms like that. Hey, Joanna. We are, hey, what's up? What did I do to you? Good name, by the way. That's funny. Anyway, yeah. So it's doing it just a little bit. And, and that's why I bring that up, because oftentimes we hear like big organizations like, NASA or whatever come out with an article like that. And it doesn't have to be NASA. It could be anybody, right? Any reputable, whatever, science, whatever, right? Astronomy magazine, anything like that, talking about the data that's being collected. Yeah, that is, it's just, oftentimes we see people take an article like that and they like expound on it like it's something really, really huge. Now, it is significant, guys, to know when or if our Earth is slowing down or speeding up, because it can help us look at other things, right? But the fact that it's slowing down or speeding up like that, you're not going to see any immediate effects, right? Not enough to really, affect our everyday life. And that's why I talk about it, because, yeah, there's a lot of research for that too, Ricky. Yeah, exactly. She says time is linear anyway, and yeah, I mean, time is what we've made it. Really, it's just a measurement of how far we are along that. And I'm not going to get into all that, because that is definitely a huge subject. There's so many, yeah. Wrapping your brain around the concept of time anyway and what it actually is, that's a hard thing to do. 100% hard to wrap your brain around what actual time is and what it means. And what can be manipulated and all those things. They recently came out with the article that they pretty much say that we have parallel universes. Run that through your brain. Let that sit there for a minute. Hey, Tom, what's going on, Tom Murphy? What's going on, my brother? I ain't seen you in a minute. Benjamin, what's happening? Trying to kind of keep up with the chat at the same time, guys. Let's see here. Trying to look anyway. I don't always. Yeah, it can. Yeah, Kenley. Yeah. If somebody didn't like say, "Hey, time is this," would we call it time, or would we even know it's like that, or whatever? Right? It's the way I look at it is just kind of like a unit of measurement, and it does. Here's the thing: time is incorporated into a lot of mathematical formulas. Just simple stuff that we talk about. It's yeah. So anyway, what else was I going to show you here? But yeah, that would have been a big explosion if it came our way. And again, guys, so let's check out spaceweather.com. You guys know I take you guys over here about every time. I haven't looked at this yet. There, look at this. Hidden sunspot touches Earth. There you go, right there. Yesterday. Unseen by NASA satellites, the sunspot erupted on November 9th. Well, they are talking about that one. Wow. An N2 class solar flare. So yeah, they're talking about that one. We just couldn't see it because our satellites weren't there to see the sunspot. It was over the limb. And remember, when we're talking about the sun, east and west are reversed. So that would have been the western limb of the sun. It still managed to cause shortwave radio blackouts over South America. See what I mean? So could you guys imagine if that was right in front of us? And it wouldn't have been like planet killing stuff or anything like that. It just would have been very significant. And we did, like I said, guys, I do want to, bring back to the table here a little bit that we did get into G level 3 geomagnetic storms with all that stuff that was coming last week. I showed you the beginnings of it, but it lasted for almost 12 hours. Not that high. It stayed G3. It got into G3, I think, for 9 hours of it, off and on. But it was, yeah. So, yeah. Hey, Alfred, what's up? Join in the spirit. What's up? Oh, really? You had CV plus math, huh? Did you, John? Yeah, one of our mods guys, Leisure777. You guys know Leisure. Seven Sun's in here too, I think. Aren't you? Did you see Seven Sun in here? Or not? Nope. I don't think. Maybe not. Hey, Gal, what's up? Pam. Stellar Core, what's up? I think I said hi to Cindy already. If I didn't, hello. But yeah. Yeah, guys. See you, Daniel. Yeah, guys, listen. Solar stuff has an effect on our health. Most definitely. We were under a cosmic ray watch, or warning actually, which doesn't happen very often in this part of the sun cycle. Because as we're ramping up, what blocks cosmic rays? Geomagnetic activity, guys. Right? And I used to say this a lot, and I haven't said it in a while. The sun actually helps protect us from the sun. Sounds kind of crazy when you say it like that, but it's the truth. We have to have a certain amount of geomagnetic activity, or other things start happening that are not good. I think it is the greatest health risk to us, like immediate, is cosmic rays. And I've explained cosmic rays before. We look for the muons typically on that. It's like taking a big dose of radiation, man. It really is sometimes. Our atmosphere does a really good job of deflecting and absorbing those things, right? Clothes. We could talk about UVC. UVC was thought not to be able to even get to the surface of our planet from any other means unless it was unnatural means like welding. If you're a welder, when you get a welder's burn, a lot of that's coming from UVC. You can't put sunscreen on to block UVC. So just understand that. The best thing to do is to cover your skin. You know, the people that live in the Middle East, that, you know, those of us that live over here in Western culture have a hard time understanding why they would want to cover their whole body in a place that's really, really hot. That's why. That's one of the reasons why. And believe it or not, once you get used to wearing that stuff, your body almost becomes cooler for wearing it. It's one of those things. So, you know, all you guys out there that want to try to be all masculine and stuff, don't be afraid to go outside with an umbrella when it ain't raining. I'm telling you, guys, UVC was reported to be hitting our planet about 3 years ago by Mr. MBB3. Is the first place I seen it. He had his network of people, you know, collecting that data. I don't think he does that much anymore. But, you know, UVC should not be hitting our planet unnatural or naturally. We are. And the levels are starting to rise. So that's what I would say. Don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed to go out there and cover your skin. Honestly, guys, just don't. You know, I would rather be around to watch my grandkids grow up than to not go outside and cover myself. That's all I'm saying. But yeah. So so the main thing here, guys, is the fact that, you know, this happened and it was on the limb of the sun on the other side. It's not coming at us. But I do, like I said, I wanted to point this out that we do have to watch this one. This one's becoming more and more active. It may, you know, it could get its act together and really throw a big one at us. Last time that happened, we seen a sunspot doing that, was this one over here. Remember? It started acting up when it was over here, and then by the time it got here and blew one, we all know what happened. Again, it's nothing to be fearful of. It's just something that we have to look at and pay attention to. So, hey Stacy. Hey Dillers, what's up? When do we die? Never. Yeah, we don't do fear here, that's for sure. Not even a little bit. So don't be fearful of that. I mean, yeah, I think you're just joking. Hopefully you're not trolling. I don't know. Even if you are, it doesn't matter as long as you respect the chat rules. I don't care. Hey, Michelle. Oh, no, it's okay, Dillards. I thought I recognized your name. I didn't think you were messing, being trolly. Yeah, sure. Alfred, send me some stuff. I'll take a look at it. 100%. I will take a look at it. Yeah, guys, Yeah, Greta, what's up, Greta? I think I said hi to you. Did that last pair of CMEs hitting the Earth what caused the unusual high temps in the last 2 days? Probably not. Good. Back at Dillard, you're awesome. No, I wouldn't think that would do nothing to the temperature like that. Not significantly, Tom. You know, one of the things we do see with geomagnetic storms, where you're going to see that affect us directly with weather, you're going to see an increase in lightning, because it does add electrons and stuff to our atmosphere. It juices us up. I mean, I don't think you'd be hard pressed to find somebody that says that doesn't happen. You know, alternative stuff and mainstream. You're not going to find somebody that says that doesn't happen typically, because it does. You know, guys, B Crouch here says, wonder if that's why I felt like crap the other day. it is a known fact when these things do hit us like that, big ones like that, it can make you feel bad. It really can. There's a lot of studies on it. Hey, Cheryl, what's up? Yes, mental health is definitely affected by CME activity, guys. 100%. You know, and this is one of the reasons why we need to get this back into, like, you know, mainstream weather reports. You know, and as I say that, you know, Tamitha Scove is in my description box there from the last time. I think I left it in here for this video too. You know, she's trying real hard to get that to happen. So I would suggest you guys go over and check out her videos anyway. You guys will definitely learn a lot over there. I can't say enough about that. That I've you know, like I said before, I didn't even know how a sunspot was formed until I watched her explain it. I read on some of it, but some of that stuff becomes really hard to understand really quick. And she explains it in a way that everybody can understand it. You know, she calls herself the Space Weather Woman. She was actually on the Weather Channel once, or maybe a few times back in the day. And she teaches classes at Millersville University. She runs a Patreon where she really takes care of her Patreons because she gives them a lot of, like, behind the scenes stuff, and they get a lot of information well before she brings it out on YouTube. So yeah, Tom. I mean, I would say that, you know, that would be almost, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying I disagree with that. What I'm saying is I don't know that we would have such an immediate effect, I guess is kind of what I'm saying. You know, we do have something called the global circuit and all those kinds of things that we could, you know, venture into. But those are big subject lines. But you make a good point, though, Tom. I mean, honestly, yeah, it does. But something to be like, to increase our temperatures to a level that we would really, really notice it, I don't know that would be an immediate thing. Like I said, I think the most immediate thing you could look at would be an increase in lightning. You know, also sprites, stuff like that. You know, lightning that fires from down to up. Super bolts. Guys, if you guys don't know what a super bolt is, you know, you really need to go Google that, because that'll blow your mind what those things can do. Thanks, Scarecrow. Appreciate you. I appreciate Adam and Dex so much. It's just so crazy. Those guys are just awesome, in my opinion. And, you know, Rip's in here, Tommy's in here. Hey, Jacqueline, what's going on? I was over watching Mark a little while ago. I think did he post his Fauci rap? That thing was hysterical. You guys, he did a rap with Fauci. That thing was cracking me up. I was over there lurking earlier. I didn't, you know, I was dealing with some stuff here at the house. I wasn't able to chat a whole lot, but I was definitely watching. I always watch the shows, so, you know, again, when I was looking for positivity and send you guys to a positive place after showing you guys a bunch of negative crap, you know, Mark was the guy I'm sending you to right off the bat. You guys know that. You know, and I just want everybody to find a positive venue to go to, and it's a great thing over there. Immediate family environment, and it's very similar to what, you know, the lifeboat is doing the same thing. So that's what I would say, and it's all one big thing. Mark come over to the lifeboat the other night. Tommy goes over to Mark's show. I mean, we all watch each other's stuff, right? And because of that, we support each other in that way. You know, and we're all, you know, we make our own content and stuff, but the only drawback of doing all that is when you find a lot of great people like Rip and Tommy and Mark and anybody else that's doing what we're doing, eventually you get yourself into a point where you can't watch everybody every day because there's so much there. And that's what happens. You know, I'm really involved in the lifeboat right now, and I'm going to stay that way. That is, guys, I'm telling you, what we're doing over there is something special. It really is. And I'm running the technical part of the channel, and it takes a lot, it takes quite a bit of time. So, but I don't want you guys to think that I'm not supporting anybody because I'm not there as much as I used to be. I 100%, let me rephrase that, 100% support everybody I've always supported. Starting with Pires. I mean, he's my brother. It's what we call each other. I mean, come on. Rip, same thing. I just can't say everybody's name every time, because if I did, that's all the show would be. I would just start having to name channels that I love. You know what I mean? And not only do I love their channels, I love these people. Truly. You might not think you can get that kind of a friendship and a connection through the internet, but let me tell you something, you can. Because it's real. It's a real thing. When Mark succeeds, I feel like I'm succeeding. When Mark feels bad, I feel bad with Mark. Same thing with Tommy. Same thing with Rip. That's how it works. And I hope that you guys can see that that's how I'm doing my channel. Because I don't want the negative crap. I'm not going to have it. And I'm not even going to entertain it. So, yeah. And I know I've said that before, probably multiple times. Squirrel, right? But you know what? Call me a squirrel all day. If there's one thing that I can say, that would be it, right there. We have to support each other and be positive doing it. Love, that's where it's at. People can call me a wuss. I don't really care. If it makes me a wuss to tell another man that I love him, okay. Where's my badge at? I'll put it on. Call me a wuss all day long. Don't really care. Honestly, just what it is. So, yeah, exactly, Axe. Squirrel, there's another one. I mean, see? I just, man, and I feel bad when I can't. Because I truly do support everybody. I don't mention people I don't support, guys. And I've shown you guys my subscription list and all that. There's people on there you guys probably think, there's no way he's subscribed to them. They're nasty people. Well, let me tell you something about that. I don't support, I don't send people to their channels for that reason. Because they are nasty. But, doesn't mean you can't find some truth in what they're saying. Some of the smartest people in this world are mean and stupid at that level, right? You just gotta, have the ability to kind of sift through it. And if you don't have that ability, which some people don't, then stay completely away from it. I would suggest that. Because then you just get confused. Yep, you're right, Ribby. And I know that we sometimes talk about this stuff, and this is a space weather channel, right? I get raked over the coals for talking about this stuff. I can't tell you how many times. But that's who I am. And if I'm not doing who I am, then I'm not doing this channel. Ever. So, like I said before, people that don't like it that way, they can kick rocks. I'm not going to boot people out of here, but if people are going to be like that, they don't have to, There's something really cool about YouTube. There is a skip button, and there is a big red X button that you can click, and you no longer have to listen to what I'm saying. Just saying. And I know that sounds kind of hardcore for the way I typically talk, but my gosh, guys, you can only get attacked so many times before you got to open your mouth. And don't necessarily mean I have to attack somebody back. It just means I have to defend myself at some level. And, and that's coming. It's coming. I was going to do a little bit of it tonight, but I went on too long. Yeah. There's some stuff I researched for over a year, and I've already talked about it a little bit. I'll be bringing it to you guys. I'm sorry I've mentioned it like 2 or 3 times and just haven't had time to really bring it to you guys, because I want you guys to see it for what it is. I really do. Because I'm going to walk through why I didn't bring it out when I was researching it. I want you guys to understand it. Because, I'll just say this right now. It doesn't feel good to get laughed at, does it? It doesn't feel good. Especially when you've done nothing but respect those that are laughing at you. And shown them enough courtesy that should never have happened. Stuff like that shouldn't happen. But it does. And I just won't be a part of stuff like that. And, so even though I wasn't going to talk about this research, I will be. Because now I need to, for my own sanity. So just know that. And, yeah, I just want you guys to know that. And when I start talking about my research and stuff, I'm going to stick to the research. I'm not going to stick to who was talking about this theory or whatever. That's really not the point. The point is the theory, right? Is it a good one or isn't it? So, and we'll talk about that later. I don't want to keep running my mouth on that one right now because I'm not going to go over it right now, and I don't want to be like, oh, what's he talking about and all this stuff. That's not why I'm telling you guys this. I'm giving you a short little explanation because I said I was going to do this, talk about some research for a couple videos now, and I just haven't had the time. So, that's why. Hey, George. Yeah, George, it's in the top of my description. Go down to the description box, and it's down there, okay? Or if one of my mods wants to put it in there, you can put it in there too, George, if you want. Just copy and paste it from my my description box, and it's there. Or I can do it real quick, I guess. Hold on. Yeah. Let's not do that right there. It's in my description box, guys. So, yeah. I got you, Daniel. Yeah. So, and it is what it is, guys. I really do. I try to treat people with respect, and when it isn't given back to you from people you don't think is ever going to do that to you, it does kind of sting. It really does. And that's one reason why I didn't just jump out here and start talking, because I would have been doing it in anger, and I'm not going to do that. I want to make sure my mind's clear of all that, and I don't want to do any of that. So, that's why. But anyway, guys, I am going to go ahead and cut it here, guys. It's, something else I haven't told you guys. Yeah, Tamitha Scope, guys, check her out. Ricky just pasted the link in there. You guys will learn a lot over there, I'm telling you. It's free college. Sorry, just is. Thank you. Yeah, guys, I mean, it just, yeah, like I said, guys, something else I haven't really mentioned in this video. I'm pretty sick right now. I'm running a pretty high fever. Been dealing with that for a couple weeks now, and so I mean, I really just haven't felt really all that, but it's what it is. Thank you, Mom Tomic. Hey, Anna, MJ. Okay, guys, I think I am going to go ahead and cut it here. I'll see y'all later. God bless. Yahusha saves. And go check out all those channels I said. Check them out twice. Whether they're naughty or nice, check them out. Anyway, God bless. Yahusha saves, and you can drink this Kool-Aid.